Good afternoon, good evening, maybe even good morning.
Depending on where you're at in the world,
That's
right?
We are coming to you live from the Big O Invitational. My name is Miguel Lagrilla, and this is Norwegian Persuasion with me.
Howdy, howdy.
We have an exciting matchup here, my friend. This is a battle between Angel City and Victorian Roller Derby. Victorian Roller Derby, of course, they've got 4 games this weekend. This is their 4th and final of the weekend. They are 3-0, Angel City 2-0, and we are going to rock out the rosters right now. My friend, feel free to tackle whichever one you want.
All right, let's start out with Victorian Roller Derby League. We're going to start out with 0, Ivy Knives, 0-1-0, Giles. 10 is Bisexual. 13, Mary Fagdaline. 14, Christy Demons. 192, Foxy LaRue. 20 is Lorraine Evans. 2806, Danny Dargo. 307 is Shayna Sorelson. 358 is Jana Nuku. 38, Bone Shaker. 503, Mixed Swagger. 51 is going to be Assault and Pepper. 66, Screw Barrymore. And 85, Bianca Scaretta.
Thank you, sir. And for Angel City, they will be wearing the red with the, gold accents. 100, Quiet Riot. 1337, Mickey Krimmel. Number 3, Soledad. Number 33, Lacey Knight. 422, Lo Betancourt. 507, Rachel Rotten. 5150, Darby Dagger. 5354, Chelker. 562, Ashley Hobbs. 617, Ghetto Fabulous. 666, Satan's Little Helper. 76, Honey Brasco. 88, Tui Lion. And 94, Octane Jane.
You know, some people would say this is the game to watch this weekend. We had a couple of amazing games out here yesterday. Filled the room. Couldn't be more impressed with the action that happened on the track, but I know there's a lineup of people out the door looking to watch this one.
Well, the best part about this one is we are seeing an Angel City team that has really ascended this weekend. They really liked their play yesterday against Texas. They have never really beaten Texas or competed well with them, and they actually did it very, very well. They kept their penalties down, and in talking to the coaches, that's what they want to do in this one.
A lot to be proud of out there on the track by both of these teams. We're going to start out this first jam of the game, the day 3 of Big O. We're going to have Giles on the line against Satan's Little Helper.
Yeah, Giles is going to be the number 1 jammer for this team. Christy Demons not in the lineup today.
Giles getting taken to the ground just before turn number 1. Satan's Little Helper is still trying to find a window of opportunity to break through this pack. Gets pushed to the infield. Spin to win, breaks on out. Number 666 picking up lead jammer. First blood has been stricken by Angel City Derby girls.
Yeah, you don't see that very often. The wall of Victorian Roller Derby twice now with the 360 move. 5-point pass there in Norwegian Persuasion.
Spins out, touches down on the toe stop on the inside line, picks up that 5-point grand slam.
I was just saying the wall was really solid, but there was just like an inch on the inside.
She found a little crack in the armor just like she did right there, pushing her way through that 4 wall to put another 5 on the board for Angel City.
Well, you don't see this kind of quick strike offense against Victoria very often. No progress at all for the jamming for Victoria, and they have got nothing going until finally, and we don't see the star. It's missing in action.
Doesn't count unless she's got the star on her.
There it is.
dome.
It was sitting between turns 3 and 4.
And we had Satan Little's helper down there waiting to put a throwdown on Giles. Before she calls off the jam, she did pick up 3 more points for Angel City. So again, first blood has been drawn. Angel City sitting at 13 in the first jam of this game.
So here's some perspective for you. Bay Area played Victoria earlier this weekend and only scored like 11 points for the first 55 or so minutes.
Yeah, that was.
So 13 points for Angel City is a very strong start.
Well, they're both running on some great momentum here.
Yes.
Mary Fagdaline on the line for Victorian Roller Derby, facing off against Ghetto Fabulous for Angel City. Ghetto Fabulous getting knocked to the infield on turn 1. Recycles back behind the pack. Mary Fagdaline working her way through. Feels that skate go to the infield. Recycles back. Excellent track awareness as we get Ghetto Fabulous out on turn 4. Picking up that lead jammer status.
Back-to-back lead jams for Angel City. It's just a positive start they wanted. And Mary Faglin is out of the pack and in scoring position for Victoria.
Feeling the pressure, Victoria, that jammer breaks through. She calls off the jam, picking up 2 points for Angel City. Again, 15 points for the ladies in red.
Solid defense there after that initial pass by Victoria.
Ivy Kanivi on the line for Victorian Roller Derby. Angel City's going to field Mickey Krimmel. Slight pack advantage going to go to Angel City.
Yeah, Mick Swagger sits in the box. Tui Lyon playing offense at the front there. No Asian persuasion, but has to break away.
Branching out, pushing through, getting lead jammer once again. Mickey Krimmel for Angel City, 3 in a row.
It's the 360 maneuver here. Several of those by Angel City jammers.
I'm getting dizzy just watching them. That's some amazing footwork out on the track.
Ivy Kanivi, no progress at the back, holds the star in her hand.
It makes them more aerodynamic. They take it off the helmet to push through.
Hashtag science.
All right, once again, as she pushes through, getting out on her initial pass, Angel City chooses to call off the jam. A few more points picked up, looking at 20 points in favor of Angel City. Victorian still held at 0.
Early in this contest, Tui Lyon already with 2 trips to the box. Obviously, a lot of gameplay to go, but that's something to keep an eye on. She acts primarily as the pivot now for Angel when she's out there and is an offensive blocking force for her team.
Giles out there for Victorian. Darby Dagger on the line for Angel City. Darby Dagger.
Yeah.
Cut track, turn 1.
Yeah, first power jam opportunity here for Victoria. The cut track was pretty clear. Just 2 toe steps out, back on the track. So Victoria with the first chance of this contest to get on the board. Honey Brasco tries the hit on Giles, but Giles keeps on trucking, replaces the star in her helmet, and is ready to go to war.
Push to the outside, Giles is forced to recycle back. Angel City defense coming out strong, doing what they can to keep Victorian off the board.
Yeah, former Victoria skater Tui Lyon with a nice hit allows her defense to reset here on Giles on this power kill.
Angel City forming up this strong defense up on the front line here in this 4-point diamond.
Darby Dagger out of the box, shrugs off the hit from Sarelson and is now in scoring position. So the power kill quite effective here by Angel City.
Very good power kill by Angel City, holding them back.
They say 10 points on a power jam is a successful power jam. So if you get under that, that's really, really good.
Well, Angel City coming out of the box, picking up another 5 points.
Everybody's down in the center of the track right now.
Break time.
Break time. Takes a break. So this power jam, initially, nice shot there by Sarelson to send Darby Dagger out. This power jam has flipped the script, and more points on the board for Angel City are coming. I believe Giles will be scoring, but just has had no progress.
Getting pushed out again down on turn 4 by that Angel City defense. She's recycling back once again as Darby Dagger trying to fight her way through the pack one more time to pick up some points.
5-point pass there for Giles. 4 more on the board for Angel City. So Victoria is on the board, but still trailed by 24. An impressive start here from Angel City.
Absolutely impressive start, offensively and defensively. The way they're holding back Victoria, keeping them down to 5 points. This is insane. We're already 7 minutes into this game.
I am waiting for the early timeout here from Victoria if this trend continues.
Well, both teams, like I said, are on an amazing run for the weekend, undefeated so far. So we'll see some action out here on the track. Mary Fagdalin once again on the line for Victoria. Angel City's got Satan Little helper out there. It looks like Mary Fagdalin's going to hold the line on the inside. Nope. To the infield, picking up a cut track penalty. Power jam in favor of Angel City.
Yeah, Angel City does get lead jammer, so they're in business once again, and this potential run continues to march onward. Full packs for both teams, so Victoria has a chance to slow this one down. They have solid defense Angel City wanting to work on offense this weekend, wanting to improve that. It's always hard to shift from being a defensive team.
From what we've seen right now by the score, I'd say that they've done some they've done some moves there.
Victoria's doing a good job of setting the pace here. Soledad tries to crash and open up some holes for her jammer, but continuing to reform is Victoria, and the power jam comes to an end.
And coming out, breaking on through, Mary Fagdalin gets her initial pass out of the way. So Satan's Little Helper is going to call off that jam, but not before she puts another 4 points on the board for Angel City.
So this is one of those games where apparently getting a power jam is really not that much of an advantage.
Yeah,
Both
I'm not
teams.
sure they told them
Right.
that. Right?
Both teams have done very well on power kills.
Definitely killing those power jams. Ivy Conivy out there for Victoria. Ghetto Fabulous lined up for Angel City. Short stacked on the track. We got 3 blockers from each team out there as we got 2 in the box. Pushing right through the center of that. We got Ghetto Fabulous picking up lead jammer status.
Oh, you're just not used to seeing these kind of holes in the defense of Victoria, so there's clearly some stuff that Angel City has seen and is taking advantage of quickly.
Absolutely. Looking for those windows to plug up that
nice
hole. Victoria still, Ivy Conivy still breaks through, gets that initial pass out of the way.
Good shot there by Biceptual to send the jammer for Angel City out, and Ghetto Fabulous had to call it off. 2 more points to the board for Angel City, and we have ourselves a situation developing here. An early upset alert, folks. Please attend the TV soon to watch this.
That's right, 35-5, 30-point lead with just about 10 minutes into the game. Giles stepping up against Mickey Krimmel. We got Shanna Serrelson in the box.
Oh, you just see Tui Line crashing the front wall. Not enough to get her jammer free, but pushes the pack forward.
Krimmel up front, 1 blocker left, gets pushed around the corner, picking up lead status once again.
And
Angel City.
with just mixed swagger to beat, Krimmel gets through.
Big shoulder by Krimmel. Hop, skip, and a jump over the apex. Initial pass out of the way for Victorian.
Yeah, Giles is out. Serrelson edges out Krimmel. And jam continues. And now there we go. Now it's called off. I thought there was some chicanery about to take place there, no Asian.
Chicanery. Is that an Australian term?
It is. I don't think so. I don't want to offend an entire country.
Looks like Angel City's been lead jammer for 6 of 7 last jams. None for Victorian Roller Derby League.
That is impressive.
That is pretty insane.
Both teams will be down a blocker to start this jam.
Mary Fagdalin out there once again, number 13, fighting her way to the front, but she gets pushed out on turn number 1. Darby Dagger, 5150, looking for a window of opportunity in that Victoria defense.
Lacey Knight takes the seat to the penalty box for a forearm. She was the one that sent out Mary Fagdalin, who will get lead jammer for Victoria.
Game.
First lead jam of the contest for the skaters from Australia.
You know, I've seen a lot of these teams, they come out with a slow start, try to get a beat on the offense, on the defense. Once they get their game figured out, they'll put the hammer down. This might be what's going on with Victorian, and just like that, we got 5 points going on the board for Victoria.
Well, this team, Victoria, they train against each other 4 or 5 days out of every week. They're super committed to this. It's an incredibly strong, durable team. And 5 more points, a quick 10-0 strike here.
Darby Dagger having a difficult time pushing her way through that Victorian defense right now. They form up that diamond formation down on turn 2. 5150 with the start off her helmet. Looks like she tried to do a pass earlier, didn't quite make it.
Yeah, Lacey Knight is the pivot. She's currently engaged way too far away for a star pass.
That's a heck of a reach.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No folding it like an airplane and tossing it.
Yes. I don't think they allow that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, you know,
The
give it a
last
go.
check of the rule set said no.
Right. I looked. I swear I looked.
It does change often, so.
Lockdown defense here on both jammers. No progress.
94 Octane Jane taking a spill to the inside.
And Mary Fagdalin was able to call that one off. 5 more on the board, so it looks like a 15-point jam, and just like that, as you mentioned, sometimes slow starts for teams, a little adaptation, a little bit of change here and there, and eventually you start to see the momentum shift.
You know, we're about 14 minutes into the first half. Only 24 points separating these two teams. Really, that's not a lot with as much derby as we have left in this game.
No, and you know that the coaches over on the Victoria side are looking for things they can take advantage of as the game progresses.
Always, always. Ivy Knive on the line for Victoria. Satan's little helper once again donning the star for Angel City. Ivy Knive with one blocker left to get by, and she does just that, picking up lead jammer once again for Victoria.
Solid jam there. Ivy Knive took several shots, including a big one from Soledad, and stayed on her skates and had to keep on trucking. Just gets edged out there, but only Rachel Rotten is left there to slow her down.
Rachel Rotten with a big shoulder check, but Ivy Knive holds the line on the inside as she breaks through for a 5 in the Sky Grand Slam.
Satan's little helper going backwards there and actually slowed her down and allowed Victoria skaters to catch up. So I called the upset alert a little too early, my friend, because they're already on a, 20-point run here by Victorian Roller Derby.
They may have heard you.
I think they did. I offended someone.
Yeah,
I apologize.
that could have been what it was.
It's just announcer hype. Don't listen. It's what we do.
Somebody got a hold of him on the Twitter feed.
I know.
And,
there's a large angry man making up stuff on the internet.
Good luck in the parking lot, buddy.
Yeah, I know.
All right, Satan's little helper getting knocked to the inside down on turn 4.
Finally free. First to pass here for Angel City's jammer. Nick Swagger sits in the penalty box for Victoria.
Waiting, poised and waiting for the pass. Victoria calls off the jam. 4 points on the board. Again, chomping away at that deficit. We got 10 points separating these two teams. Victoria's coming back with a vengeance. Seen a lot of action in the last couple jams from this team in white.
24-0 run by Victorian Roller Derby to get to this point. And we're going to have ourselves a timeout called by Angel City.
During this timeout, I'd like to give a shout out to Bont. Lighter, stronger, faster. Be your best. Be Bont. Bont Skates, big supporter of roller derby and the Big O. And my daughter, actually.
Really?
She's a junior skater, and
that's wonderful.
Daddy just spent a lot of money.
Did Daddy?
Big O. Yeah. Good thing they pay us well, right? Check is in the mail.
Let's not go there. That's excellent. Well, you're a good father. You're a good parent for doing that. And what team does she play for?
She plays for the Kitsap Derby Brats Rockettes.
Okay,
She's
excellent.
11 years old. She's been skating for 5 years already.
So at some point, we're going to see her out on the track in a big game.
She'll probably retire before she becomes an adult.
No,
all arthritic by the age of 16.
Yes.
But
I tell you, we've seen a lot of junior derby this weekend. You've seen a ton if your daughter's involved. It is really, really impressive to see how these kids advance and how they take to the sport so quickly.
Give you a little insight of what's going to happen in the next 5 years or so in the sport. It's going to take off. It's going to be insane. Because
everybody's been doing it by then for 5 or 6 years.
Right.
It's crazy.
Hey, whistle blown, action starts. We got Giles out there for Victoria. Ghetto Fabulous for Angel City. Giles coming out quickly, pushing through that defense, picking up lead jammer for Victoria.
I honestly had no idea how Giles made that move. It was magic.
She was there. All of a sudden, she was lead jammer. It was insane.
Calls the jam off quickly.
And then it was over.
Yeah, 4 points. Just boom. Hi, thanks. So that is a 28-0 run now in favor of Victorian Roller Derby, and they've cut this one to 6 points. Angel City 39, Victorian Roller Derby 33.
Within 6. I think that's what it was. I think they were getting a bead on the offense that was going to be put out by Angel City. Now that they know what they're looking for, they're plugging up those holes in that defense.
I could not agree more.
Mickey Krimmel trying to push her way through this diamond defense up front. Mary Fragdalene out back trying to get through that 3-wall put up by Angel City.
And Tui Line tried once again to just blow up the Victorian Roller Derby wall. And they shrug it off. Sarelson and the jammer go out, and both are recycled.
Sarelson working hard to get that jammer out. 337 pushing through Mickey Krimmel. Lead jammer breaking that cycle.
So that's the first lead jam for Angel City in the last 4. And Angel City's been held scoreless, of course, for the last 3 jams.
And hip check sends her to the inside. Rary, number 66, pushing 1337 Mickey Krimmel to the infield. She's recycled back behind the pack. In the meantime, we've got Mary Fagdalene fighting her way to the front. Looking for a window of opportunity, but Angel City is trying to stop the bleeding.
Angel City trying more offense at the back. Ashley Hobbs tries to get her jammer free, but Mary Fagdalene does get out, so the jam is called off. And it looks like 4 points there for Angel City, so they stopped the schneid, as it were.
They did.
Stop the bleeding. 43,
Still only
33.
10 points.
Oh,
between
this,
these two,
yes,
though.
this one's going to be a heart attack to the finish. I was really surprised to see that early lead, so I figured it'd be back and forth the entire contest.
Lining up tight on the back side of that jam line. We got an empty penalty box. That means 5-on-5 on the flat track. So we put Ivy Knive out there for Victoria.
Solid shot there by Lacey Knight to send Ivy Knive to the inside. She has to be recycled.
Darby Dagger up front against this forward wall of Victoria, trying to push her way around this track. Get a little help from her friends. Pushing away out, spin to win. Ivy Knive picking up initial pass, no penalty, so she did not get lead jammer on that one. Still open.
So Darby Dagger has to get free and call this one off, but Ivy Knive is already back in scoring position for Victoria.
Darby Dagger knocked into the infield by Bone Shaker. Bone Shaker recycling back, forcing her to move way back past turn number 3.
Well, this is much more like what we're used to seeing from Victoria. This lockdown defense and solid effort from their jammers.
I got to admit, I was a little on the edge of my seat at the beginning of this game, though. It was a little different.
I know. What happened?
Ivy Knive getting pushed around down on turn 4, trying to work her way around that Angel defense, get some points up.
Star pass goes to Lacey Knight, the pivot for Angel City. Bunny Brasco's trying to play some offense, does edge some of the blocking of Victoria out, but not enough as the packs have come together. Oh, and the always bizarre multiplayer block call on the jammer. It happens when you get in there.
I've
you mix
seen
it up.
happen a bit this weekend here. Yeah.
That's usually you're going to see it at these high level events because the refs are very attentive to everything that's going on.
All right, getting her way through, getting that lead jammer status, number 33. I'm sorry, the initial pass out of the way, Lacey Knight.
So she is out after the star pass and in scoring position on this power jam. And that jam took forever. So it ends after reaching the 2 minutes, excuse me. 2 points on the board there for Angel City. Looks like the full 4 for Victoria.
That did come to its natural conclusion. Good fight by both teams. I mean, they've got to be exhausted out there, the amount of defense getting put down. This is going to be a power start for Satan's Little Helper. Satan's Little Helper, hop, skip, and a jump over that apex.
But she took out one of the Victoria blockers and gets called for zero block.
So close.
So it is a power jam flip as Ivy Knive is back in play for Victoria. She gets edged out by the blocking of Angel City and kind of assesses things in turn 2. Goes to battle and tries to work her way, find a spot, goes left, goes right, looks. It's just a one-on-one fight for her, gets edged out. Angel, nice recovery. They get their blockers back in position to Line with a solid shot. Great defense just holding on, but Ivy Knive fights her way forward and out of the penalty box, comes in, gets lead jammer, and the power jam ends at the same time as Satan's Little Helper is back in play. Currently, folks, Norwegian Persuasion has not left the building. He is dealing with technical issues.
We're having some technical difficulties here.
Like a boss, by the way. And I'm just vamping away like nothing's going wrong.
Glad to have you, buddy.
And a nice salute to technology there. Jam's called off by Victoria. After all that, it is a 2-point contest. Quick check at the penalty board. Both teams doing pretty well, actually. Only a handful of folks with 1 or 2. We pointed out Tui Lyon with 2 quick penalties earlier. Since then, she has been clean. Mick Swagger for Victoria has gone to the box 3 times, but nothing stands out. And we was down about 8 minutes or so in this one, so pretty solid penalties across the board.
All right, I'm back in the mix.
He's back.
We've got power.
He thinks so.
Oh, I thought so.
He thought so. Get a fabulous out there for Angel City on the jam line, and that's Giles for Victoria.
Giles shooting back and forth, looking for a window on the inside, comes up against a strong 2-wall. Now 4, holding her back, but she's pushing that Angel defense around that apex. 6-1-7, finding a line on the inside. Ghetto Fabulous getting lead jammer.
Just persistent for Ghetto Fabulous to get through. Giles wanted the forearm call on the Honey Brasco, but no call is made. Oh, wow, inside totally open there for Ghetto Fabulous, and she knifes her way forward.
She shot to the outside, juke to the end, found that crack, and just dove through it, picking up the points and calling it off. 5
points on the board there for Angel City. They've extended their lead to 11.
Great gameplay we saw by Angel City in that jam, offensively and defensively.
They really want to keep their penalties down. We talked about that early, and so we check a quick look at the box, and there are 2 in the box. Well, this is going to be a 2-blocker advantage for Victoria.
Been a pretty clean game so far by both teams, actually. Shooting right down the center, picking up lead jammer. That's Mary Fagdalin for Victoria.
And Mickey Criminal has the star and stashed behind her back. Tui Lyon is her pivot, so she does have a potential to pass it. Victoria's not going to be fooled by that.
I think, again, it's for aerodynamics.
Yes. Oh, hey, it does work. The star pass goes to Tui Lyon. 5-point pass from Mary Fagdalin on that last one, and she will try to get one more. Yes, nice move.
A little bit of a shell game out there between the Angel City jammer and pivot, bouncing back and forth, having that star in her hand. I didn't even see it get past.
No, it was very quick.
Yeah.
Soledad takes a trip to the box for Angel City. Jam continues. Victoria wants to run this one out as Tui Lyon now has the star for Angel.
Lyon up front, pushing against this diamond defense. Victoria's formed up tight down on turn 1. Not wanting to let her by. 13-37, Mickey Krimmel coming in with a shoulder check against Mary Fagdalin. Mary Fagdalin getting knocked to the inside there by Honey Brasco.
Yeah, Honey Brasco kind of did a lean maneuver, just like, are you in? Are you out? No, you're out for sure.
Yeah. Just to make sure, let's give you a little extra check there.
Crowd chanting Tui. And a multiplayer block will be called on Mick Swagger, her 4th trip to the box.
Angel City defense forming up tight, but Victoria comes through, breaks up that wall a little bit, reforming, holding Mary Fagdalin back once again.
Interesting, this is just being kind of burned out here. I guess they're looking to overextend Tui Lyon on this one, see if they can wear her out.
Tui pushed to the outside down there, recycling back. Last line of defense, got to let her go through. Mary Fagdalin putting another 5 points on the board for Victoria.
Solid jam here for Victoria as they have almost cut this lead completely down. 3 points do go up for Angel City. Tui Lyon as the star recipient. So now a 4-point game.
They are keeping it tight here in this game between Victoria and Angel.
Satan's little helper on the jammer line for Angel City.
Ivy Kanivi fielding for Victoria.
Oh, the folks at home, you don't know what you miss. Lead jammer goes to Victoria.
Is my ear bleeding?
You'll be fine. Just shake it off.
Ivy Kanivi fighting a line on the outside. Spin to win, picking up the points. 5 in the sky. Victoria Roller Derby.
Lead change for Victorian Roller Derby as they have the first lead of the contest. here in this game. They have been trailing the entire time until that last pass.
Ivy Canivy using every inch of this track from the outside to the end, looking for a winner to break through this Angel defense.
So after being down by 20-plus points early in this game, they have stormed back. The skaters from Australia have stormed back and taken the lead. Two in the box for, sorry, sir, I think you were going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
Two in the box for Angel City.
Satan's little helper getting knocked to the inside. You can see the fatigue on these skaters in this jam. Slowly recycling back behind the pack as Ivy Canivy calls off the jam on that one. 59-53 Victoria at the end of that jam. 3 minutes left in the first half.
10 points. I can hear you. 10-point pass there for Victoria. Oh, boy, it's been interesting here on several levels.
If you only knew at home.
We're having fun.
Hey, we got Giles back out there facing off, I believe, Ghetto Fabulous.
Yep, Ghetto Fabulous gets sent to the inside. Only 2 blockers to stop Giles. Sarelson playing a little bit of offense.
Honey Brasco, last line of defense on that one's got to let her go through. Lead jammer going to Victoria.
Sarelson takes the trip to the penalty box for Victoria. Reinforcements come from the penalty box for Angel City. Ghetto Fabulous gets knocked down there. It's like Biceptual with a solid hit.
Giles just blazing through Honey Brasco's defense. Now she's locked up horns with this 3-wall up front.
Rachel Rotten out there. Lacey Knight trying to slow things down.
Ghetto Fabulous trying to spin her way around that pack, but number 20, Laura Evans, has other ideas in store, knocking her to the infield.
So the comeback and the lead change continues as Victorian will put more points on the board here. Giles got a knife past Honey Brasco. Yep, more points. Looks like 5 in the sky, Norwegian Persuasion.
That is another grand slam. They are increasing that lead, kind of separating themselves from Angel.
Well, it's these penalties that are mounting up. That's what Angel City wanted to watch out for, and they are not doing a good job here in the last several jams. 5 more in the sky. A solid jam here for Giles and Victoria, and they have opened up a 74-59 lead. You got some NSO shenanigans going on over the penalty box. We will see if anything comes of that and report that to you as best we can. Quick lead jammer goes to Mary Faglin. She's able to get through on the outside quite easily, and Victoria's run continues to mount here.
Mickey Krimmel trying to push her way through, but she does that spin maneuver that was working so well in the first portion of this game, gets knocked to the infield. Blockers going to the box, 53-54.
Lacey Knight with a good job to send Ray Faglin to the inside, so she's recycled. And finally, an Angel City jammer gets out of the pack.
Jimmy Krimmel.
It's been rough.
Mickey Krimmel getting that initial pass out. 4 points going up for Victoria and calling off the jam before anything gets picked up by Angel City once again.
Well, that will do it for the first half, and what an interesting first half it was. Now, actually, there will be an official review called here by, I believe, Victoria. We'll confirm that. The halftime will not actually technically start for these two teams until the conclusion of the official review. So we'll talk about kind of what's been going on. Victorian down by 30 points early. They stormed back and put on 2 monster runs. Angel City's really had trouble keeping their packs together. They've actually had a lot of trips to the box, and they've been unable to get any sort of consistent defense to slow down Victoria. So now Victorian roller derby with a 78-53 advantage here.
Well, definitely coming out of the box, you know, Angel at the beginning of this game threw the hammer down hard.
Sure.
They got a great momentum built up on that one. Victorian slow to start, but once they picked up on their game, They locked it up tight. Angel, I think you could see a little desperation, and that's why we're seeing a lot of trips to the box on that one, and that's reflecting in the score.
Well, it's Victoria is such a smart, well-coached team. They play together so often.
Well, picking up on those little nuances.
I think what was just said was the official review was turning into a timeout, perhaps, which is odd. I don't know how one would do that, but we'll see the results.
It usually goes the other way.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. So that's going to be halftime. We'll see if the halftime begins, actually.
It could be halftime. It could be, 7/8 time. It could be, I don't know. We'll see.
Well, I'm curious as to if there's no call here why you would have an official review, but I am no expert. That's why they make me an announcer. Either way, it looks like the coaches are going to take some time to talk things over.
It's science. What do we know?
Exactly.
Right?
And we are going to take a break and go to commercial. We'll be back after halftime. Thanks for watching the Big O Invitational, Track 1, Day 3 here in Eugene, Oregon. You are looking live at the Big O Invitational from Eugene, Oregon here on WFTDA.tv. I am Miguel Gorilla, joined by Norwegian Persuasion. This is going to be the second half of Victorian Roller Derby and Angel City. On the track right now, you see skaters warming up for the next contest, which would be Rose City versus Denver. Victoria is up 78-53. It was an early start, Norwegian Persuasion, for Angel City up about 30, and then it was all Victoria.
Angel City came out like a rocket, putting the points on the board. Really throwing the hammer down on Victorian. I think it was a surprise to a lot of us to see what was happening. But I think Victorian, like we were saying, really was just getting an idea of what was happening with their defense and their offense. Once they tuned in, as you can see by the score, they really brought their game that we've seen them play all weekend.
3 jammer rotation for Victorian Roller Derby. They're going with Ivy Conivey, Giles, and Mary Fagdalin. Ivy Conivey with 25 points, Giles 24, and Mary with 29. Angel City has Mickey Krimmel with 13, Darby Dagger with 9, Satan's Little Helper with 17, and they have done a star pass to Tui Lion, and she did pick up 3 points. Ghetto Fabulous with 9. So a little bit of a lower scoring effort after the initial onslaught from Angel City, but there's plenty of time on the clock to make some magic happen, or for Victoria, a chance to go back home 4-0 this weekend.
That's right. We've got, it's been a big weekend for roller derby here in Eugene, Oregon. And with the Big O streaming on the interwebs, we've got people all over the planet watching this happen.
What?
Amazing action. I got something in from New Zealand. Big shout out to those people watching in New Zealand as VRDL does the damage down here on the track.
That's great. Hi, New Zealand.
That's right. Let's see.
Mickey
Bay City
Krimmel.
Rollers. I think
Excellent. Mickey Krimmel out there for Angel City on this jam. First jam of the second half against Giles for Victoria.
Giles up front trying to push through this Angel defense. She's got 3 to get through right now as we got 1 in the box. They're doing an amazing job holding her back right now. Honey Brasco, 33 coming out of the booth. Lacey Knight trying to put the hammer down on her, but she's going to slide on by. Giles is going to pick up that lead jammer status.
Sarelson with a nice hit on Mickey Krimmel, who was almost free, and now Victoria's defense resets, and Giles is in and already in score position. Ooh, great offensive job, while a star pass takes up to Lacey Knight of Angel City.
Lacey Knight out on a scoring pass, but they're going to call off the jam for any points picked up by Angel. 4 points going up for Victorian.
So Victoria comes out with a quick 4-0 strike. Look at the penalties for both teams. Really only one skater with 4, and that's Mick Swagger. Sarelson with 3, Lorraine Evans with 3, and several with 3 for Angel City. Lacey Knight, Rachel Rotten, and Honey Brasco all with 3 trips to the box. Everybody else with 2, 1, or 0.
A very clean game so far, definitely from both sides. We got Mary Fagdalin on the line for Victoria. Satan's Little Helper out there once again for Angel City. Locked up tight down here on turn 1. Satan's Little Helper gets pushed to the outside. Looking for a window as Mary Fagdalin breaks through, getting lead.
Well, Satan's Little Helper likes to do that kind of backwards sideways maneuver to get the spin, and to a great effect, she's free.
out and about, but she did get, I believe, a high block on that one.
Oh, that's not good.
Satan's Little Helper put up 17 points in this game so far for Angel City, but now it's a power jam out there for Victorian Roller Derby. Mary Fagdalin, the high scoring jammer for Victoria, 29 so far, and that's another 5 in the sky. We'll put it at 34.
Things will help her back in already. Seemed like a really fast 30 seconds.
Time warp.
Huh, weird. Free, real quickly. She's in scoring position now as well.
Coming to the outside, Ghost Blocker takes her down on turn 4, but Satan's Little Helper did pick up 3 points on that jam.
Yeah, late call off. First points in a little while.
Ivy Kanivi 7 up the line, facing off against Darby Dagger, 51-50. Slight back advantage in favor of Angel City as we got 2 blockers in the box for Victorian. Ivy Kanivi getting pushed to the inside, recycling back behind that Angel defense. 51-50 up front, trying to get past this Victoria wall, but she's getting held up tight as Ivy Kanivi breaks through to pick up lead jammer status.
This team, Victoria, has spent the entire weekend without their star jammer, Christy Demons, so they have been doing the work with just these 3 jammers that you see here today, and they have been grinding it out and going to battle and have been undefeated so far. Now with 90 points in this contest.
They have done an amazing job all weekend long, and in this game as well. Nothing changes. It's all the same. Victorian picking up the points and putting them down.
Jammers for Victoria are so similar. They're all tall, they're strong, they're agile, and you could see that you have to get just the right hit on them to get them out, because they can just shrug off just a simple hip shot. You really got to lay into them if you want to get them out of play.
Definitely taking the blows. Strong base, holding their skates inside the line.
Star pass goes to Lacey Knight, who is not daunted and is just kind of holding it and playing defense.
Victoria up front here with this diamond defense, locking up Angel City tight. Ivy Kanivi getting pushed infield. She's got 2 blockers behind or in front. Finds a line on the inside, pushes through for another 5-point pass.
Honey Brasco takes a seat in the box for. Lacey Knight tried the 360, but in the second 360 gets edged out. Does put the star in her helmet. Oh, it's going to be a power jam here as a forearm call on Ivy Kanivi. And so Lacey Knight is in position to score now, but of course Victoria's wall's in the way. Why would they not be?
Why wouldn't it be? We are going to have a power start in this next jam, but at the end of that jam, Victoria breaks that century mark, going to 105. Angel City 56. Make that 109, Angel City 56. So 53 points separating these 2 teams right now.
So points are a premium now for Angel City after that quick 35 points in the very beginning of the game. They have only put up the difference you see here. So 21 points since about 5 minutes into the first half.
All the defensive skaters out there as Satan's Little Helper's got to push her way through in this power start, which she does. She makes short change out of that defense, picking up the lead nod.
2-way line going to the box for Angel City. So the penalty concerns that Angel City was trying to prevent seems to start to be mounting up just a little bit. As a team, no individuals in trouble, but as a team, they're recycling blockers into the box over and over.
They're sharing the wealth.
They're sharing the wealth, yes. Spreading out the love.
Right. Hey, 3 Victoria skaters blocking Satan's Little Helper, holding her to a standstill on turn 4 as she tries to push her way through on the outside. Toe stops just in. As we get number 0 out of the box, Ivy Kanivi makes her way through on her initial pass with the star in hand.
And that will force the call off.
Another 5 goes up for Angel City.
Little positive energy there. One of the parts of Derby that's always kind of in the weeds is the rankings and how close you are and score. So in this situation, Angel City, of course, wants to win. You always want to win. But you want to keep this one close. You can keep the number 2 team in the world within arm's reach, you are definitely having a good Sunday at the Big O.
Definitely having a good day here. Good weekend here at the Big O for both of these teams. Giles out there with Ghetto Fabulous.
Quiet right takes a seat in the penalty box for Angel City.
Ghetto Fabulous getting pushed to the outside down here on turn 2, recycling behind this Victoria defense who formed up that diamond defense. And in the meantime, Giles breaks through and gets that lead jammer nod.
Well, good job there by Angel City to give a path for their jammer to get free. And Ghetto Fabulous does get out, and Giles will put 4 on the board and then call it off.
You know, Victoria, excellent track awareness out here, knowing where those skaters are at all times, taking the most time that they can to put as many points on the board before calling off and holding Angel to 0, just like we saw there.
This jam will start off with one Angel City blocker in the box. So 1 skater advantage for Victoria. And it looks like that will be Mickey Krimmel out there jamming against Mary Faglin.
Mary Faglin viciously shooting back and forth side to side trying to get through that pack. But 13:37, Mickey Krimmel flies through the inside, getting the lead jammer nod.
Yeah, rare chaotic start there. Most of the starts in this game have been really solid and intense. That allowed the both jammers to make some moves. Mary Faglin is out. Four-point pass there for Angel City. And they get themselves up to 65 points.
48 points separating these two teams with just over 20 minutes left in the second half. Plenty of time left. Lots of roller derby to happen on this track. And we're going to put Ivy Knivey out there facing off against Satan's Little Helper. Pack advantage going to Angel City on that one.
So I guess I've been handed a note to announce the MVPs for these two teams who would be playing in the MVP versus Team USA games later on this evening. I'm assuming that's what this means here.
I'm guessing.
Looks like Bianca Scarlets is the MVP for Victorian, and Noodles for Angel, who apparently is not even playing in this game. But congratulations to both of them.
Ivy Knivey getting knocked to the outside down here between turn 1 and turn 2, recycling back. She was almost up front with the lead, but we got Satan's Little Helper out here right now trying to spin her way, pirouette her way to that lead jammer status, and just like that, she does, getting through that last line of defense for Victoria.
Well, a bit of a calmer, more intense approach here. At the same time, they are not losing their cool, but they're playing hard as Angel City, and they've got themselves a couple lead jams here back to back. Like maybe a lot of work for very few points. Yeah, 1 point there for Angel. They'll take it. Calls the jam off. Victoria did a good job of setting the pace on that one to keep the points from coming at a premium.
We did see him speed up the track a little bit.
Yep.
Satan's Little Helper picked up a penalty.
Oh, wow. Yeah. I looked down at the computer screen and missed what the call was. My apologies.
I did not see it as well. So we got Giles on the line and a power start for Victoria.
I'm going to go ahead and speculate it was a skating out of bounds penalty. Lead jammer goes to Giles.
Nice little apex jump there for her to get through that Angel defense.
It was either skating out of bounds or maybe coming into contact out of bounds. Usually those are the two penalties that take place at the very end of a jam on the jammer.
Post-mortem call.
Yes, as it were.
Flying through for 5. Giles picks up that grand slam, making the most of the power jam.
Yeah, dangerous situation here. At this point in the game, Angel was kind of crawling back into it with about 19 minutes. This power jam comes at a bad time for their comeback. We talked about penalties, and actually no one was really in trouble until recently. Honey Brasco with a couple trips. She now has 5 trips to the box. Going to have to watch her gameplay. And we're going to have ourselves a power jam here for Angel City as Giles goes to the box for a forearm call.
It's getting the penalty box do-si-do as we get blockers in, jammers in, blockers out, other blockers in. You get a penalty. You get a penalty. Check under your seat. There's probably a penalty.
Yes. Oh, I just looked. I got one. No. Soledad and Rachel Rotten in the box for Angel City. There's a scoring pass here for Angel City.
Satan's little helper.
Yeah.
Fighting off the MVP, Scarlets.
Yes, we get newly minted
Yeah.
Big O MVP.
She doesn't even have the crown on.
No, I know. Doesn't even know. She can't hear us.
Brushing off the blows and pushing her way through that pack. Satan's little helper is just taking the pressure. But getting out of the box, pushing her way through, Giles gets 5 points on the board.
Yeah, this jam's just got a few seconds left, so. Oh, actually a little extra effort there by Satan's little helper to edge out Giles. Nifty move by the jammer. 1 point earned for Victoria on that pass. 4 for Angel City.
$124.70. That's a bunch of points.
It is. Well,
I did the math.
Yes, I did the math. My Midwest math says that's a lot. Yeah, plenty of time, but it's just so hard to score on Victoria when they're executing defensively. Timeout, by the way, folks. Apologies for missing that. That is an Angel City timeout. A pain of the crowd, a soon-to-be raucous crowd. The locals, of course, getting ready to cheer loudly for Rose City as they're up next on the docket, and this place will be a hoppin' for that one.
Yeah, well, it's already filling up out here. I mean, this is a great game to be watching, but definite Derby fans here in Eugene, Oregon.
Yeah, the Big O Invitational, one of the great tournaments, one of the good non-sort of playoff-related tournaments. It actually has a playoff atmosphere and intensity for 3 days.
Big teams coming all the way, all over the planet, as we see with Victorian right here.
The folks that are here in Eugene and Emerald City, they really like, they really want to offer these international teams a chance to get their whole season done in one weekend.
Yeah,
they do, and so
they
offer them a chance to play 4 games. So a team like Helsinki or Victoria or Aldriki, they have a chance to come here and knock out an entire season's worth of games, basically.
Ghetto Fabulous up on the line for Angel City. Mary Fagdalin out there for Victoria. Big hip check being thrown right now to number 66, Screw Barrymore, getting knocked out on turn 1. 617 Ghetto Fabulous up front, getting past that last line of defense, getting lead jammer for Angel City. Mary Fagdalin finally getting through on her initial pass. Victoria defense locking up Ghetto Fabulous on the back end of this track right now. Push to the infield, she calls off the jam, but not before she picks up 3 more points. Holds Victoria at 0.
Well, you got to get points if you want to come back, so that's a good jam for Angel City. They executed well, and they took care of what they needed to do. They have to do that more often here. There's plenty of time. You can wait for the mistake and hopefully take advantage.
16 and a half minutes left in the game. There is a lot of time left with just about 50 points separating these two teams. And shooting it on the inside, taking a step over the line. She recycles back, but that's going to be Mickey Krimmel. She did pick up that lead jammer status, though.
Yeah, Saracen and her several teammates were looking for a track cut, but Krimmel got back out of play very quickly before any whistles were blown. Soledad takes a trip to the box for, looks like a directional, I believe.
Ivy Kanivi working back and forth, lateral movements, trying to find a window, and she does that on the inside, getting her initial pass out of the way.
Well, Krimmel's just going to call it off because there is no progress there for her to score.
Ivy Kanivi was coming up on her 6, didn't want to see Victoria pick it up even 1 point, so she calls off the jam. Stepping up to that line, it's Giles once again, facing off against Darby Dagger.
Sorry, my apologies.
Darby Dagger with 9 points in this game so far for Angel City. Giles, however, 43 points this game so far, and just like that, she pushes her way through to get lead jammer.
Now Darby Dagger does the star stash, and it caused a little confusion, so she's able to get to the inside and is clear. Giles with a nifty move. Finishes her scoring pass, calls it off, pops the 4 points on the board for Victorian roller derby. Penalties seem to be still remaining pretty evenly distributed across both teams, so no one in any serious trouble fouling out.
Satan's little helper on the line for Angel City. Mary Fagdalin once again for Victoria.
Angels down a blocker.
Slide pack advantage, yeah, going to Victoria. They've actually done a really good job of taking advantage of that when there's a window like that. Victoria jammer. Getting some help up front by number 38, Bone Shaker, making a hole in the wall, giving Mary Fagdalin the opportunity to get that lead jammer nod.
You don't always see a lot of offensive blocking from Victoria, but when they do it, they strike hard and fast, and they did allow their jammer a little extra breathing room on that one.
Absolutely.
Seems a little bopping back and forth, just trying to find any angle, any way to get past that three-skater wall.
Yeah, Victoria defense on point in this second half.
It's a battle of the braces, and both pivots for both teams stand in the middle bridging. Pretty little picture.
Hey, 5 in the sky going up. Victoria once again. Mary Fagdalin rounding the track.
Ashley Hobbs takes a seat in the box for Angel City. Tough, even strength jam here for Victoria. Another 5 in the sky. This is the kind of thing they do. They lock you down and just start making laps and just grind it out.
Definitely seeing that happen in this jam. However, Satan's little helper finally getting through.
That was actually a star pass to Tui Lyon. Yeah, it's okay. It happened so fast, it was hard to keep track.
They are good at that star pass.
Yes, Tui Lyon knifed her way out of there. 4 more points on the board for Victoria, and they continue to roll up. And they have just about doubled up Angel City at this point. So
I always said the game would get more interesting if they allowed them to use knives on the tracks.
Well,
it's good to see them finally taking my advice.
Folks, this is a parent of a junior derby skater. Keep that in mind, all right, everybody?
That's right. We don't mess around. I think we got a spill on the track out there. We're going to get a little track maintenance going on. I'd like to give a shout out to Roller Derby Athletics. Roller Derby Athletics, big supporter of the Big O 2016. We got a lot of great supporters here, including S1 helmets. If you haven't done so before, I highly suggest working your way to the Big O at one point in your life. Great vendors, great opportunity to see some amazing roller derby by a lot of teams that you normally wouldn't get to see.
This is my first ever Big O.
Really?
Yes, I've never been, and I can tell you it has been a magnificent experience. The folks at Emerald City do a really bang-up job of organizing this event. It's just flawlessly executed. So.
It's great. Yeah, there's 40 people on the board organizing this. 3 tracks, and when you look at it, it seems like there's no way that's enough. What they do to get this thing going. I mean, you're seeing it at home on 3 different screens.
Yeah,
I'm assuming you set up 3 screens so you can watch it all at once.
Yeah, I would. You have to, right?
Anybody with class would do such a thing.
Anybody that knows what they're doing. Underway here again after the cleanup on the track. Ghetto Fabulous will be out there for Angel City, and that is Ivy Kanivi, sitting with 44 points today for Victorian Roller Derby.
Ooh, trying to squeak her way on the inside. Ivy Kanivi does get pushed to the infield and forced to recycle back. Ghetto Fabulous, though, just charging up the center of this pack. Victorian's ready for her with that 3-wall defense. Big shoulder! Oh! 66. Screw Barrymore knocks her to the outside.
It's a power jam opportunity for Angel City if they can take advantage.
Victoria speeding up that pack.
So, offensive crash. I was waiting for the offensive crash here from Angel City. They had that kind of look in their eyes. Forget a fabulous. But great reaction, great recovery by just getting up the track by Victoria's skaters. And they forced the track cut. Nasty defensive work by the Australians.
That's going to be the jammer do-si-do, just like the Thunderdome. One jammer enters, another jammer must leave.
Octane Jane takes a seat in the penalty box for Angel City.
Ivy Kanivi back in the mix, looking to make a window through that wall.
Honey Brasco tries to lay the posterior on Ivy Knive and cannot do it.
Posterior hit.
Yes.
That's a nice way to put it.
Got to be careful. You're freezing here.
Right. Hey, Ivy Knive getting knocked out down by turn 1. Quick to get back in, recycle. Last line of defense going to be Honey Brasco, joined by 53-54 checker.
Honey Brasco does get the skater out, but is called for, looks like an out of play. 5-point pass for Ivy Knive, and more importantly for fans of Honey Brasco, her 6th trip to the box.
Well, if you don't get 6, you're not trying hard enough. Or something like that.
I'm just going to say some of your advice is maybe not the best.
You're allowed 7.
Okay,
right?
okay.
Just saying.
His name is Norwegian Persuasion. He'd love to coach your team, folks. He's got some sound advice for everybody.
We've got a 12-week knife sharpening clinic.
Guys, I'm out. Got to go.
Just jokes. Just jokes.
Seriously, yes.
Right.
We're just. It's the 3rd day of like 72 hours of derby. Where sometimes it gets a little punchy.
None of my skaters have been convicted yet.
Mickey Krimmel out there for Angel City and Giles for Victoria.
Slide pack advantage going in favor of Victoria as Honey Brasco still in the box.
Great offense there with the 4th blocker. Giles out, lead jammer. Victorian roller derby.
I thought Krimmel had it. She was on her toe stops on the inside edge, but she just steps over the line. We have a star pass. Wait, I didn't even see that happen again.
They have this magic thing.
Passing thing.
4-point pass there for Giles as Tui Lyon receives the star once again. Tui's picked up some points today for her team as a star pass recipient. Soledad send Giles out on the front straightaway. I think Victoria is content to run this one out. They like the advantage over Tui Lyon.
Absolutely, and just making sure, changing the defense at Angel City, pushing them out, finding the line on the inside, getting another 5-point pass. That's Giles.
We saw this before when Tui received the star. Victoria did continue the jam and continued to try to punish her a little bit. Former teammates, little teammate welcome back party out here on the track for Victoria. 4 points there for Giles. No pass, no penalty, so 1 point was taken off. Jam continues. This jam still got about 25 seconds left to go. So
Tui Lions with 1 skater left to get past. That's Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko with a big shoulder knocking her down there by turn number 4.
And then with lightning efficiency, Victoria reforms the pack in front. Step through move by Giles. Free and clear, 5 points. Victorian roller derby. This has been about a 40-plus point run here for the Australian skaters. And mercifully for Angel City, the jam comes to an end. 4 points to the board for Angel City. No additional points for Victoria.
That was a big jam
for
Victoria. 165 to 77.
Tui Lions picked up 7 points today as a pivot, receiving the star. And the leading scorer for Angel City, Satan's Little Helper out there with 30 points, is on the jammer line. And Mary Faglin out there with 51 points today.
Mary Faglin going side to side, looking for that window. She does step over the line to the outfield. She's going to have to recycle back, but Satan's Little Helper fights her way to the front of this pack, picking up lead jammer status once again for LA. Angel City.
Yes. Rachel Rotten, last one to beat, and Mary Faglin is out. So the jam will be called off. Satan's Little Helper will collect a lone point.
Try to see that spinning aerial pivot move that we've seen Satan's Little Helper do, but she did land on the infield. Knowing where she was at in the track, she calls off the jam. Didn't get the cut, didn't get the points either. She got the 1.
Yeah, some of those shrug-off hits, those 360 moves there, worked really, really effectively in the beginning for Angel City, and you can see that Victoria's like, okay, we see what you're trying to do.
Yeah, they're onto it now. Time to put that one back in the bag. Ivy Knive on the line, facing off against Ghetto Fabulous. Ivy Knive holding the line on the outside, pushing her way through, getting lead jammer.
We've just seen it time and time again. The Angel City blockers think they've got a jammer. They think they can force her out, and then they shrug off the hit and get free, and they're off to the races.
So that's a pretty good turn them off to the races, because once they do get free often, they're just breaking through. We're going to get a cut track penalty called on the jammer of record right now.
It's Lacey Knight who received the star pass. So, a rough second half here for Angel City as Victoria shows why they're one of the top teams in the world and why many think that they could be the first team to actually, the first international team, I should say, to win the Hydra this year.
Well, from what we've seen this weekend.
Yeah, they've made a statement.
Yeah, they definitely have.
They defeated the defending champions, 5 more points on the board there for Victoria. They defeated the defending champions last night in really what I would just call a street brawl, just an incredible display of grit from both teams.
That was an amazing game. Rose, in their defense, we're down a couple jammers.
Yeah, we did not see the best of Rose last night, but we saw some of the best blocking they've had since the championships. They were really into that game only because their blocking was so strong. Defense
was on point. We got Giles on the line facing up against Lacey Knight. Once again, Lacey Knight in the box, so power start for Victoria.
And the star being held by Lacey, she would have to pass it to another pivot. Sometimes teams will, she is out, by the way. Sometimes teams will send out a jammer with a pivot stripe to try to do a quick star pass from their blocker, but they trusted Lacey enough to go out by herself.
With these jammers, though, you can never tell where that star is.
Yeah, they have the magic star pass. 4 more points to the board there for Victoria, so quick 9-0 strike, and they have put up their biggest lead now, 174 to 78.
Just shy of 100 points separating the two teams, 96 points with 4 minutes left.
4 minutes to go. This is why a team like Victoria was able to hold a quality squad like Bay Area to 11 points for just about the entire game. I mean, you can see that they just go in these stretches of lockdown defense that is just overwhelming.
Satan's little helper coming out like an angry pit bull, pushing her way through that Victoria defense, getting the lead jammer nod, but coming back.
Well, just more missed hits. They try to lay the shot on these jammers. The jammers are just so resilient. Satan's little helper is going to let the jam keep going. I'm not sure she's aware of where the opposition jammer is.
I don't know that she knows Mary Fagdalin had already gotten out.
Yeah, scoring. And of course, Bisexual is going to pummel the opposing jammer. 5 points on the board there for Victoria.
Oh, Satan's little helper looks like she's poised and ready for something.
Yeah, she
throwing
wants to,
the defense.
Yeah, that's not going to go well. Well, there was only 2 blockers out there, so at that point I could see why she was delaying. Hopefully just to get one of her teammates out of the box.
Again, those penalties, what we've seen is with Angel City's penalties picking up with their blockers going in the box, you got to have blockers on the track in order to stop that jammer. And this is where we've seen those points spread.
Yeah, we talked about how the penalties weren't too much trouble, but the second half is kind of taking a toll. Honey Brasco with 6 now, Rachel Rotten with 5, Soledad with 5. So they're starting to have some teammates with some issues here as this has gone on. The grind has gone on.
Pack advantage going to Angel City in the start of this jam. 2 blockers in the box, taking full advantage of that. Ivy Knive coming out of the booth, getting lead quickly. As Darby Dagger slightly stuck behind that Victoria defense. She does come out on the outside line.
Well, Victoria has to rely on other jammers like we talked about. No Christy Demons, 4-point pass there for Ivy Knive. No Christy Demons this weekend, out all weekend. And you look at the points and how they're distributed. You've got Ivy Knive with 58, Giles with 69, Mary Fagler with 56. So it's really just, I mean, all 3 jammers just evenly distributed. All points are over just at a few of each other. They're all so good, so able to score and shrug off the hits. It's like 3 mirror images of each other.
Yeah, really, I mean, with a 10-point difference between Giles and Knive and Fagdalin, they're the same jammer.
Exactly.
There's just three perfect jammers on the track. Right now we're looking at Ghetto Fabulous out there for Angel City. Giles once again out there for Victorian. Ghetto Fabulous coming out of the booth picking up that lead jammer status.
Yeah, Ghetto kind of gave a taste of the medicine there to Victoria. She shrugged off the hits and is able to keep on trucking as they peeled back off of her, thinking they got her out.
But just like that, we see Victoria spread out. You got two blockers up front. That jammer's coming through the pack, and they come together in a four-man wall. We got cut track penalty going to Giles, which means we got a power jam now for Get a Fabulous, and she's got a beat on this defense. She's pushing through for 5 points.
Not a lot of opportunities here for power jams. Not a lot of mistakes, and anytime there is a power jam for Angel City, they have been struggling to get offense. You can see really good speed there, but nice crashing of the wall by Low Betancourt. Great job there by Angel City's jammer to get through for 5.
That was a beautiful move, that pirouette around that blocker. That was great.
Well, Low Betancourt gets the bowling strike there. She just plowed into the pins and took them all out and allowed her jammer to get free.
Out and about. Giles is back on the track. Gets the initial pass out of the way as Ghetto Fabulous gets pushed to the infield.
They'll take that jam. That was a solid jam for their team, and now a timeout.
Absolutely. She looks happy for what she put out on the track on that one.
Well, that jam just about grinded this game out. We've got about 6, looks like they're going to make it 7 seconds in this contest. And you and I both know, there's some sort of magical thing about scoring triple digits. So you know Angel City desperately wants to find a way to get to triple digits. I don't know why. It's just a thing.
Also with that, the way the rankings and all that happens, got to get as many points as they can, especially against a team ranked as highly as Victoria.
I would agree. So timeout Angel City, and they have one more chance to have a positive jam. They're going to send out Mickey Krimmel, who scored 17 points today. And it will be Mary Fagdalin out there for Victoria with 56 points for her team.
Definitely a great showing out here by Angel City, especially in that first half when they came out, put their game on the track. You can see them kind of, I don't want to say falling apart a little bit, but with the penalties in the second half, we've seen Victoria really break away as far as that point spread goes.
I think you had to see Angel City play a pretty flawless game to have a chance for the upset. I mean, they played flawless to start. It's just hard to sustain that for 60 minutes. And with a team like Victoria that just is so strong and talented and so deep, they just can grind you out jam after jam. And eventually, when you get that grind, you just make mistakes.
Yep. Fatigue sets in.
So last jam of this contest, it's a very interesting one. Both teams having a solid weekend. Victoria with the lead jam, and they're going to come away with the win, and they're going to come away 4-0 here at the Big O.
Definitely earned it out here today, and calling off the jam right there. That's the end of this jam. That's the end of this game.
So Victoria will come away with the victory against Angel City. They beat Angel City today. They beat Rose City yesterday. They beat Texas, and they beat Bay Area. That's for a successful Big O sweep. The final here, 183-94.
That's a pretty impressive thing to say, that you came in and swept the Big O.
It really is.
In 3 days.
And it's a statement, too. No Christy Demons. She's an MVP caliber jammer, so this has been done with a little bit less roster. And we are going to have to say goodbye here in a minute, but we would like to thank the folks at Angel City, and Victoria put on a good show. Angel City with only 94 points, but they had a nice, strong start, a lot to build from, a great weekend. They beat Texas. And they beat, I believe, Denver, I think.
Absolutely. Nothing to be ashamed of.
No, not at all.
They definitely put on an amazing show and showed everybody in the world what they could do. As we're lining up on the track to give our free high fives that we give out here at the Big O.
Yes, no charge. And they have a little London Bridge thing going on, too, for the skaters to go under.
That's a different team.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. It's the thing. They got a little thing. I don't know what's going on. By the way, nothing would be more exciting than having a rough derby game and then having to crouch through a bunch of people.
Right. You've been working for over an hour right now.
What a great reward.
Get low.
Can I just get out of here and go take a shower and celebrate with my team? Up next, folks, on this track, you are going to see Rose City against Denver. That will be up next. And at some point later on this evening, it's going to be the Team USA squad playing a couple, essentially what amounts to the scrimmages against the MVPs that were selected of all these teams.
That should be an amazing watch, too. I think we have a little Tootsie scrimmage happening down here, too. Little positional game. It's going to be amazing.
Well, thanks so much, by the way. My name, of course, is Miguel Agrilla, and I've been joined by Norwegian Persuasion.
And it has been a pleasure.
It's been my pleasure, my friends. It's been my pleasure. Folks at home, thanks for watching on WFTDA.tv. This has been the Big O Invitational live from Eugene, Oregon. You've just watched Victoria defeat Angel City 183-94. Stay tuned for more action, and you'll see the Megatron sideshow, the Afterglow, coming up shortly here on WFTDA.tv.